Hello, everyone. Hello. So, as you've seen from the title of this video, we're about to do some body face paintage for Halloween. And I wanted to do something spooky. However, I went to a therapy appointment this evening because, as some of you know, I have not been okay. I've not been okay. And it's okay to say that. So I left the therapy visit really upset. And then I just sat in my bathtub with boiling hot water for about 2 hours and cried. And I feel pretty decent right now. I've got some background music in my ear while I film this so that I can kind of have a little bit of a distraction, because sometimes I find that when I split my mind several different ways, then my OCD issues kind of die down a lot. So this is going to be very live stream style. I know normally my videos are really structured, and I like that, and I want it to be kind of like that. Structured loosely, but today we're going to be doing some face painting, and I'm really excited about this because I'm very artsy, and I'm not a master painter or anything like that, so this isn't going to look amazing, but I just figured that maybe for Halloween I can give you guys a little bit of something, and we can just kind of chill and hang out together. I've kind of got some little brighter lighting than I usually have, and let's just go with it. So, I'm not gonna lie, it's not always about the expensive paint that you buy. It's like, so depending on what you're gonna do, you are gonna need the right tools. But for what I'm doing today, I bought this. And what this is just some white face paint. And I've got 3 different color pencil markers on here. If you take a look, I've got red, which I will be using, black, which I'll be using, and then the maroon color I will not be using because I don't need it. $1.99 at Walmart. And I don't mind spending money on stuff that I'm going to use a lot, but if I'm going to use this literally one time, then I'm not going to do it. And then I bought some fake blood. This actually came in a kit that had something else in it for $1.99. And then I've already have these brushes. That I'm actually going to be using because my plan is to smear out some of my creases, because I'm going to want to do a lot of different shading, and you'll see that. So let's get started. I'm going to try the brush. I'm going to try the brush. The thing, or like the sponge that they give you. Although I'm not really sure how effective it's going to be, because what I'm going to do first, and you can see I'm going to start putting paint. My nose is just rub it through here. And I'm not going to lie, my original plan was to have a lot more of a structured video. And then all of this lovely little mess happened with my anxiety this week. And if it looks like I'm looking away from you, it's because I'm looking into the viewfinder of the camera, literally just so that I can see what I'm doing, because I'm probably going to need several layers of white on here, so we might as well just hang out. This is very therapeutic for a lot of people, and it's kind of nice. I'm avoiding the eye area because I'm going to have black going over top of that anyway. I'm going to kind of have the black frame my eyebrow so that I can cover my eyebrow up. Don't worry, that's going to be normal. I'm not going to do half and half. I might do some, but I don't want, see, I'm going to leave some of this. I don't want too much going on. I want something that I can kind of work on that's detailed for now, because I want to focus on making this look good as opposed to half-assing it, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to pull my hairline up. Love that for me. This is actually kind of fun. You know what? This is making me feel a little better. Oh, and I hope that you're doing okay. I like to do a lot of mental health check-ins in my videos because that is one of the absolute most important things to me. No matter what you do, you have to take care of yourself. And it just goes to show you. Okay, good. It just goes to show you that you have to put effort in to make yourself feel better. And listen, I understand. Sometimes you cannot get out of bed. You cannot get out of the couch. And when I say out of the couch, I accidentally said that, but I feel that on a personal level. So, it's okay to take your days. But like today, for example, I cried for a couple of hours in the bathtub to kind of process everything from my therapy appointment, because I've been having a really rough week, and not only have I been having some family issues going on, but I didn't realize the family issues were affecting me as deeply as they do. Okay, ready? We're about to get up close. Alright, so they hit me pretty hard. And that's okay if they do. No one's perfect. No one has to be happy all the freaking time. Not gonna lie to you, I cannot stand the toxic positivity that some people throw at you. And I'm like, can you just let me be not okay for a minute? Can you do that? Just Jesus. So, if I say I'm not okay, do not be like, you know what, you'll be fine. That pisses me off. Lesson from Daniel. Alright. the sponge gave me coverage. However, we need some more. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to start dabbing. Because I want this a little thicker than what it actually is. Yeah. And you might want to, if your goal is to cover a couple of these, then you might want to get more than one. I mean, it's only $1.99, so it's like, it's not ridiculous. But if you're wanting it for just one night, it'll do the job. So, anyways, like I was saying, it is more important now than ever for us to take care of ourselves. And you can't fix something that you don't know is broken or you're denying is broken. So the best way to handle that situation is to sit down, recognize that you're not okay. And once you recognize you're not okay, you can start looking for what makes you feel not okay. And then work toward doing it. And to be honest with you, that sitting down and realizing you're not okay is not the hardest part. For me at least, sitting down with my therapist and trying to figure out what is making me not okay, I can't do. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal with that is. And that's okay to do. It's okay to not be able to figure that out. People get on my nerves so bad because they're like, I'm fine. I don't have those problems. Yes, you do. You just don't tell anyone. And you hide it. And those are the people that usually explode and do something really bad at a gas station. Or they act out and can't control it. Like, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. And that's okay. It's just been a really bad week for me. And if you're having a bad week, I can relate. I can 100% relate. If you're having a good week, I'm happy and I hope that lasts for a very long time. And I hope that if something does come up, you can process it. You know, you understand what you understand? Just process it, feel it, and move on. That could be a couple day process. That could be a couple hour process. We don't know. It depends on what it is, really. But that's okay. Alright. So, I'm going to wipe this all over my hand because I don't need anything else on that. So, as you can see, we've got our white covered. Now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to take my black pencil. I'm going to want to start lightly sketching out different things. So like I'm going to move my mic up closer for you. And I'm going to move my light over. So mic moved, light moved. So now I'm going to want to sketch out my orbital bone. I'm going to include my eyebrow so I can hide that. And then I'm going to sketch out my nose because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baby wipe and I'm going to wipe this off. I'm going to go up the side of my nose here and I'm going to clean this line up because I want all of this to look lifted, because after I add the blood it's going to look like it's been ripped off. You know what I'm saying? Okay, good. Alright, so this is going to be the most uncoordinated thing I've ever done, looking in a camera viewfinder. So I'm going to want to use my finger to find my orbital bone, and I'm going to start lightly marking that out lightly. I'm not going ham yet. And really, anybody can do this. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a problem. And it's even easier if you have baggy circles underneath your eyeballs, like I do. And you're just going to want to keep following your bone structure. And like I said, I'm going to add a little bit because I am going to. That's excessive. I don't know if I should have done that. You know what? It's fine. Don't care. We're going to go for it. Because it's already there. It's 2020. Everything is scary anyway. So if I have to change it, I will. But I'm not going to right now. So. What I'm doing now is I'm going to take some of this marker and I'm actually going to put a couple marks up in here. Not for any reason other than shading. I'm going to shade this so it looks a little bit more rounded out. You see this right here? I'm going to add some lines here so that I can shade this as well. We will go back in and edit this with a brush because I'm going to need to do some shading and rubbing. I'm going to need to do some, and you see already how just adding those lines right there kind of makes this bone structure here pop some. That's what we're going for, and that's what we're going to end up doing here as well. But since this is cheap wax paint, you're going to have to be really careful about it. And I'm actually going to pause there. I'm going to add a couple dots here. Because even though this is going to be black, it doesn't just immediately, the way the light's going to hit a skull, it's going to be slightly darker. It's going to be a little darker here on my face because the way the light is hitting me, my bone structure here is going to pop out. So I don't need any dark lines or anything. I just need some little gray tones up in here. And listen, if you're a girl and you highlight and contour, this is just extreme highlighting and contouring. If you're a guy and you do makeup, it's highlighting, contouring. But just so that you know, it's basically the exact same thing. So I'm going to take the sponge first, and I'm going to dab. I haven't done very many triggers in this because I just really wanted this to be a really fun, relaxing video. I understand that you can try to put on a happy face and it'll 100% show if you're faking it or not. And 80% of my days lately have been really happy and I'm thrilled to make videos and it shows and I shine through. But the other 10% is really hard right now. And right now today I'm in that 10%. And it's okay to be that way. It's alright. It's okay to feel like crap sometimes. It's okay to not want to do anything. And don't get me wrong, I want to film all the time. If I could, and I mean, it's my end goal here to do that. But right now, you kind of just gotta roll with what you got. And what I have today is just me not feeling my best. And even if I am not feeling my best, I am still giving you my best. Okay, and look, see, this is what we're doing. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's subtle, and it needs to be. So, this area right here, do you see how my brow bone is hitting really bright? And since I've added that little bit of gray there, I've got a little bit more definition in the skull portion. That's what you need. But I need more here, and I need more here. I can already tell. But this actually might do a pretty good job if I stipple this out. Stippling is, I mean, I think I pretty much used that term wrong just now. Which, you know, fine. But I'm just dabbing with the sponge. Just dabbing with the sponge. Nothing's gonna look perfect. Although I really like the way that this skull definition is actually looking. My cat just woke up, if you hear my cat going. Hi, Leo. Hey, what's up? Leo, hush. Hush. But, I mean, unless I'm having a family emergency, which seems to happen a lot lately. Oh, didn't mean to do that. However, that happened. Oops. Or, I don't know, something else is going on. I'm going to add a little bit more here. And I'm going to add a lot more here. And I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to use a actual sponge to kind of do some dabbing. I don't know if that's going to help, but it might. Because I'm going to need eventually to even this up, and it's not giving me the effect that I want. And I mean, that's something that you'll run into. There we go. We're getting somewhere. It is beginning. So I'm starting to get a little more definition. I'm still not where I want to be. But it's alright. We're getting there. So I'm thinking I have found a tactic that's working in terms of all of this mess. I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to add some black onto my finger, and I'm going to start dabbing it on. There we go. Do you see that? I'm not flipping you off. I do not have a middle finger. In case you were wondering. Any of you. Not sure if you are, but, you know, fine, whatever. And there seems to usually be like some type of S-curve, and I'm not like obsessed with having really thick S-curve on my face. I do have very prominent cheekbones, so I'm not trying to like brag or anything like that. I'm just, I do. So, do you see how the shading here is giving me a really good effect? Like, it's pretty potent, but I want more. Alright. And don't be scared to put a whole bunch on and then go back and cover some up with white. Literally, you can just rinse it off and do some more. Ooh, it's a little intense. Okay. See, now we're starting to get somewhere with all this. Now, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to dab on this for a little while. And I'm going to blend that out. Since this is cheaper paint and it's like greasy and it doesn't spread very well except for with a sponge, you're kind of going to want to dab with your finger or dab with a brush. You don't want to swipe. I learned that just now very, very quickly, which is fine. No big deal. Okay. I'm going to do some dabs on the darker end over here. Alright. And I'm also going to put a bunch of black here. So that way, I can kind of, I'm going to tap outward. In a very, very lightly pressure so that I can just start blending that. I can already see that that's like a little too much, but I am not in a hurry, and neither should you be. So if you make a mistake, do not worry about it at all. This is very shiny. Sorry about that, guys. My camera decided that it was not gonna cooperate for a second, but we're good. So can you hear all that tapping? I hope you can. All right. So I'm well aware that this is not the greatest, but guess what? Me and you are here to have a good time. And damn it, that's what we're gonna do. So I want you to just relax and just do the best you can to breathe and enjoy yourself, because that's what you deserve. And I am going to keep whispering into this mic, into this mic. I'm going to keep whispering into this mic. And we are going to make sure that we have a good evening together. You got it? Good. So, now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and line the inside of this with my eye. The inside of my eye with this. I'm not going to put this like in my eye like eyeliner, because no. And I wish that I had something darker that would work, but it's okay. If you have eyeliner and you want to put that on, do it. If you don't have any, then don't worry about it. You can't be bothered. this may or may not be a terrible idea, but it's going on my eyelid anyway. And why? Because we need a good time. It's probably very toxic when you get in your eye, so I don't recommend moving it this close. However, I'm determined to have a semi-decent skeleton, and I don't even think that's gonna happen. Now my camera isn't even focusing on me. Like, I'm trying to be the center of attention. Why won't it let me? Really? Alright, so we've got some shading here. I've got some shading added here. That I think kind of looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it looks pretty okay to me right now. And by okay, I definitely mean, mediocre. Okay? I don't know what I've done here. But that's alright. You know what? Everyone does the best that they can. It is fine. Because when you back up, it looks better. Okay, so right now I'm going to take a wipe and wipe my fingers off before I go back in with my white, because if I don't, then it's gonna smear gray everywhere, and you don't want that. You do not 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 want that. So you don't want that. So now that I have done said thing, I'm going to take some more white on my finger, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to highlight all of the places that should be highlighted. And this is going to be very elevated now, because you've done all of your shading, and I like to do this because you can cover up the shading that you don't like. Or if it's too harsh of a line, you can just tap on the very edge of that line, and it's going to kind of help. So I'm going to have to add some here and here. So let's start with the very tip of my brow bone there. You see that? Boom. And this is going to have to go up this way here, because the light hits hard here. So I'm going to add some more here. I'm going to add some more right there to kind of bring that back up. And guys, literally, this is just the eye looks like crap, and I hate the eye. I shouldn't have done it the way that I did. However, if you can just do some basic, simple shading, then you're going to be fine with this. It's going to look cool AF. Alright, so we've got the cheek. That looks a little harsh. Boom, fixed, easy, done. So, we've got the cheek. We've got the forehead. Actually, the forehead looks pretty decent. Now that we've got that, that eye is as good as gonna get, you guys. Now, I actually really probably should add some more white here. Like I said, it looks pretty rough. Okay. So, now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a wipe and I'm going to wrap it around my finger so I can get a fine point. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to remove some of this too. I'm going to remove this side of my nose because I don't want that. I'm going to pick back up right here and I'm going to remove that. Alright. There's a method to my madness. You will see. And, like, don't get me wrong. I love watching channels like Made You Look and a lot of their makeup channels that film like a 10-minute video. But they do that stuff all the time. Like, all the time. Guess what? I don't. So, I thought maybe it would be easier anyway to just kind of chill with this and just kind of have a ramble. And if you don't even want to watch the tutorial, you can just fall asleep listening to me chat and just have a nice little soft-spokenness thing we got going on here. Right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Now, there are a couple things we must do. Number one, outline. Outline your face. This is important. The reason we're doing this is because I'm actually going to have some blood lined up here and dripping down the side. And that blood is going to be a little bit of a highlight. And this is going to look a little sunken in. So I'm actually going to take my finger and dab because I don't want it to be unrealistically dark. I just want it to kind of blend and be a little shadowy. You see that? There you go. There we go. That looks better. My camera's having trouble focusing today. Why? We don't know. Probably because everything kind of just feels like it's out to get me. But in reality, this video is a solid 40 minutes and counting. Alright, so we got that going on. Yes. Now, something I'm going to do for this side here. You're going to get me for this. I'm going to highlight and contour this side real quick. It's not going to take long because I've definitely done it before. Because I want it to look really good when I put blood all over it. So, let's cover that dark spot up because I hate looking at it. Don't want to look at it, don't like looking at it. Apparently my camera doesn't want to look at it either because it's very, very not focusing. Alright. Now I'm going to contour this side here. You see that? We take this brush and we go up and down. And then I'm going to take a bigger brush and I'm just going to start going around on the cheeks. Like this. Until it looks semi-blended because I don't want to blend it all the way. I'm going to put a powder over top of this. And I can actually close my eye. I've done this a lot. Actually, it's been a really long time since I've put any type of makeup on because I got makeup originally just for filming because people kept asking me, you know, how come you're sweating so much? Well, number one, I actually do sweat a lot. Always. And it does kind of suck to just be a sweaty person like that. Actually, maybe we should see if I can cover that up. That would be impressive. Maybe I should have been doing that from the beginning. Put a little bit up in here. Alright, I don't touch this a lot because I like the rosy red here, even though my entire face is rosy red. I just kind of like doing that. So I've got my contour. I've got a little bit of concealer here. I've got a little bit of highlight up in here. Now the last thing I'm going to do, even though probably no one's going to see it, is I'm going to put some contour up in here. And I'm going to start blending that out. Because although it's going to get covered up with powder, you're going to want to have something there. This is pulling real orange on camera. It is not this orange. This is a brown color. There, that's pretty good. Actually, kind of impressed. Now, last step. Yeah. I'm going to put some powder all over this face, kind of just to mattify it up. And it's also going to like undo a lot of those harsh lines. And I've actually stopped putting makeup on before filming because it's a lot. But I kind of want to get back into the groove of doing it. Anyways, that's not why I mentioned any of this. I mentioned this because I wanted to just kind of have this side dolled up and then this side creepy and bloody. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You guys get me? I know you do. Thank you. Alright, so this side looks a little bit more polished and contoured. And then, well, this side looks like something. Now, for the one brush I didn't use, I'm going to experiment. So I'm going to start with putting some on the tip of my brush. Whoa! That is liquid. I thought it was going to be a little bit more oozier than that. Definitely is not. What am I going to do? Just spilled that all over myself, you guys. Hooray! Okay, anyways, I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of like do some dabbing here. I'm going to do some dabbing right here. This is like kind of ASMR-ish, I guess you could say. I wanted to do more triggers, but I'm also trying not to beat myself up because it could just be difficult for me to, get it together. It's, to be honest, it's a big deal that I'm present and I'm doing the best that I can. I've been talking about that this entire video. I need to quit. So, where would this would fall over some this way. I'm gonna put some droplets on here and just let them go where they need to go. But I want to take a little bit and kind of like, kind of work that into some of this paint. Yeah, let's do that. You get up in there with this. Alright. So I'm going to try to do some quote unquote highlighting and contouring because realistically, blood is going to kind of pool into crevices. So, let's start dabbing. Right up here as well. Anyways, this video may or may not be an epic fail. I have no idea. And I really hope that I don't lose all of my subscribers from this video if it turns out bad. But I just want you to know that I love you and that I'm still here for you. And that I'm gonna be. Alright, so plan B. Actually, this isn't plan B. I planned this from the very beginning, but I don't know how messy it's gonna get. So, take a baby wipe. Hold it at the bottom of your face. And let's do some drops where that line is at. That's legit. Oh, that's so legit. Look at that. Oh, my nose itches, my nose itches. How am I gonna do this? Fall that way. Do it now. Heck yeah. Look at that. Okay, it's starting to come together and look good. Oh my god, that itches so bad. How do we feel about this? I feel like that's a big kind of question. That's a big, we need to know. Head injuries are really bloody. I feel like I need more. Right on the pimple. You hide that. might kind of work. But we can do that. Put some fake blood on here and kind of do some dabbing. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'll take it. Kind of looks like somebody took a bite out of my neck. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Okay. Anyways, you guys, this is where we ended up. I hope that you liked me trying to be festive. I really did just want to chill out and talk to you guys and at least film a video for you. After having a really long day, it actually is really therapeutic for me to sit down and just chat and do something for Halloween. So I just wanted to say I love you guys very much, and I hope that this video relaxes you or at least entertains you. And after this video, my next one will be the week after this drops, and I'll be right back to my normal content. So I love you. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out my other content and you like it, please hit the subscribe button and drop a comment down below for a video that you'd like to see. Anyways,